What, as a parent, could you not believe you had to explain to another parent? My sister-in-law called me crying at 2 a.m., and what she told me still makes me sick to my stomach. Her husband had done something so twisted that I couldn't believe a parent could think this way. Their 8-year-old daughter had been struggling with bedwetting, which is completely normal for her age. Instead of being supportive, my brother-in-law decided to teach her a lesson by making her wear her wet sheets to school as a backpack. He wrapped the soiled sheets around her shoulders and told her she had to carry them all day to remember what happens when she acts like a baby. The school called within an hour. Other kids were pointing and laughing, calling her names, and she was found hiding in the bathroom sobbing hysterically. The teacher had to throw away the sheets and call my sister-in-law to bring clean clothes. My niece was so humiliated she threw up in the nurse's office and begged to never go back to school. When I confronted him the next day, he was actually proud of himself. He said, "She needs to learn that her actions have consequences. Maybe now she'll try harder to stay dry at night." I was absolutely speechless. I had to explain to a grown man that bedwetting isn't something children do on purpose. It's a developmental issue completely out of their control. I told him he had just taught his daughter that when her body does something she can't control, the person who's supposed to protect her will instead humiliate her in front of everyone she knows. He was training her to hide problems from him instead of coming to him for help. He was teaching her that love comes with conditions and disappears when she's not perfect. He argued that his parents used shame to motivate him, and it worked fine. He turned out successful, so clearly tough love works. I asked him how he'd feel if his boss made him wear his coffee-stained shirt to every meeting for a week after he spilled on himself, announcing to all his colleagues that he acts like a child who can't drink properly. I asked if he'd feel motivated to work harder or just humiliated and desperate to find a new job. He said that was completely different because he's an adult who should know better. I replied, "You're absolutely right. You're an adult who chose to spill coffee and has full control over your motor skills. Your daughter is a child whose bladder is still developing and has zero control over what happens while she's unconscious. But now she'll remember forever that when she needed understanding, her dad chose cruelty." The worst part? I had to explain that bedwetting often gets worse with stress and shame. By humiliating her, he was literally making the problem worse, not better. I told him to imagine waking up wet and scared at 8 years old, knowing you'd get punishment instead of comfort. I asked how she was supposed to trust him with bigger problems if he couldn't handle wet sheets with basic decency. He finally broke down and admitted he was just frustrated and didn't know what else to do. His own parents had shamed him for everything, and he thought that's what made him successful. My niece forgave him, but she still flinches sometimes when accidents happen. That's the real tragedy. He damaged her trust in the one person who should always be her safe place.